scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a little mixed media work. Now I am not a mixed media expert. I want to be, I would love to be, but I am just a dabbler at best. But I have this new summer patio stencil from Journals for Life, and I wanted to find a way to use it in kind of a creative and different way. Now, they're leaves, so it was obvious I could just do it all green, but I wanted to do more of a rainbow type color palette. And I was using these butterfly die cuts on the side as my inspiration. Now, they're mostly a coral and a teal, and what I end up doing is more of a rainbow, but I really like how it came out. So I'm going to show you how I did this. What I'm using is the Lunar Paste from Simon Hurley. I've got it in most of the primary colors. And so this one is, it's kind of a reddish orange. I think it's called Cone, something Cone. Anyway, so what I'm doing is taking just a little bit of the paste on my palette knife and going over approximately 1 to 2 of the leaves at a time. I am overlapping the colors because I don't want a hard line between the two colors. I want it to sort of blend, but I also don't want to mix all the colors together so I get a big brown muck. Now with this green, I am doing just a small amount because there isn't any green in the color palette of this kit, and this is the Serendipity kit from Journals for Life. Now what I really love is the teal color, and the Lunar Paste does come in a teal color, but I don't own it. And on a different project, I had mixed the green and the blue that I did have or do have and made a teal, and it worked great. So I am doing that here on my Make It art mat. This is also a mat you can get in the Journals for Life shop. It's a hard metal magnetic mat basically, but it's hard and it's great for mixed media work. It wipes up really nice, and then there's also the magnets to hold your paper down. So I'm deciding that the mix that I had made was still too green. I'm adding some more blue, matching it up, and I'm getting the teal that I like. So this I use a little bit more of. If I did it over again, I'd probably put a little bit more green down and not as much as the teal, but it still comes out really pretty, so I'm okay with the final results. So what I'm doing is I'm wiping my palette knife in between each color change. Again, because I don't want to mix everything up and get a brown color. So that's how I'm able to keep the rainbow color, at least how I did it. And then I'm also very careful not to put that that paste back into the jar because I don't want to mix my colors. So now you can see, I'm trying to move it around so you can see the shine. It is so shiny and so pretty. I love it. But I still have some paste that I haven't used up. And rather than throw it away, I'm trying to get more into art journaling. Again, not something I do regularly. In fact, not something I do with any regularity, but I do want to practice and do it. So I have this journal that I started at a class that I went to a couple years ago. And I am just taking the stencil and the extra paste. I'm not worrying that it's going to come out anyway. This is just practice. And I left this in the video just to show you what I do and how I do it. If it comes out all brown and gunky, I don't really care because this is just practice time. And I'm just using up whatever paste I have left on my palette knife and on my board. I'll then, when I'm finished with this, put this to the side and let it dry, and I'll come back to it another time. I hope to get more into art journaling and adding quotes and more paint and embellishing, and just that'll be a different video. So now back to our spread that we're working on. There's a good shot of the shine. So I've got a rainbow looking leaf pattern. Now I am taking this add-on embellishment kit from the shop. It's a Vicky Bouton embellishment pack, And I was trying to point out, I added some white machine stitching to the underbelly of the birds. I wanted just some texture, and it's kind of a messy stitching because I thought that would go well with the look of the page. So I am getting some ribbon. I'm going to put that in the top of my tag. And now what I'm noticing is the birds, where I want to put them, their tails are going to either come out of the both sides of the Traveler's Notebook. So after I trim off my threads, I am going to actually trim off the tail of the birds. So I'll do a little surgery on them, but they are just fine in the end. So I really wanted to highlight this yellow color because down at the bottom the bird is yellow. And I thought that looked good with the whole spread. So I ended up picking this page to put my tag on. I was auditioning several pages, and a lot of them would have worked out well. Like this one would work because it has a lot of the colors in the zigzag. But what I really wanted was more of a solid color page because I really thought it made the Lunar Paste and the design that I had painted much more vivid and made it the star of the show, which is really what I wanted. So I put it on this polka dotted blue background paper. So now I think I'm about to do the surgery on the birds after I put the tape down, and that's when I realized that this is going to either fold, which I didn't really want the bird's tail to fold. So I am just going to cut off the little piece that sticks out on the edge. I could have put the bird farther into the center, but then it had both the birds kind of looking like they were in the center, and I wanted them askew a little bit. So now on the other side of the page, what I'm going to do is a list of things that I love about spring. The theme for me in this journal is the transition to spring, what I'm loving about spring, things that I do in the spring. And I liked the stamp Life in the Slow Lane, and that is definitely something that I'm trying to embrace in my life in general right now, is to take things slow, enjoy the moment. So I liked that sentiment. Now you can see I got black ink on my right side of the page, and it just annoys me when that happens. So I'm trying to see what I can do. The Traveler's Notebook pages are not super thick, so it's really careful not to rub them too aggressively. So I tried to dab it out with a baby wipe a little bit, and it didn't work. I decided to put my bullet point stickers down first, and then it dawns on me, this is just a very stark white piece of paper, which means I can use some whiteout. Actually, here I'm trying to use my eraser, but I don't want to make those little fuzzy, rough edges to the paper. So I just lucked out with this being white. The whiteout took away the black. There's still a little like shadow or haze to it. Once I write my journaling, I think it'll be fine. So that is my page. I hope you like it. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next video.